30% of the offering is going to retail, which is worth talking about because it very much implies they think it's going to be a meme stock. Because a typical IPO allocates only 10% or less to retail investors. There's an army of people who are in their basement somewhere who love Elon Musk. SpaceX is reserving roughly 30% for them. The mechanism is a directed share program where the underwriters set aside Class A shares for sale at the IPO price to employees of the company and certain other designated individuals. And these directed shares don't have lockup, so they can skyrocket. The decision creates a different kind of opening day. 3 times the normal retail base, no lockups on those shares, and a stock that is already a meme. Class A shares held by institutional and pre-IPO investors carries the usual 180-day lockup, as well as employees. Index inclusion will force buying within weeks. This is a big one. Okay, so bear with me here. The S&P 500, to get included in that, it happens within 15 days for IPOs that meet the size threshold, with SpaceX will blow by. Index fund managers don't choose whether to buy just one share. Once SpaceX is in the index, every S&P 500 tracker has to hold it at its index weight. So at a 1.5 trillion market cap, the index weight would be roughly 3%, which is the kind of position that requires real selling elsewhere in the index to fund it. And the same dynamic applies to people's 401k targets, most large pension funds, and the bulk of corporate retirement plans. So it'll get shuffled in there. Other major holders, Antonio Gracias and Valor entities collectively hold about 7.3% of Class A common stock across the dozens of fund vehicles listed in the prospectus. This guy is long SpaceX. Tesla owns roughly 1% of the Class A shares post-IPO. Other named pre-IPO investors include Google, DFJ Growth, and a long tail of growth equity funds. The Cursor acquisition, if SpaceX exercises the option, would be paid in Class A stock, like we said, at the volume-weighted average closing price of the 7 trading days before close. A stock pop on opening, therefore, makes the deal more expensive in shares for SpaceX to consummate and therefore diluting existing shareholders. So keep that in mind.